we're live. So I'm going back to 1969, guys. Let me know if you remember this song when it was released. I was only 4, so no, but I do remember it in the 70s, mid-70s being played. I do remember liking it because of the sound. I didn't know what it was, but it sounded cool. But yeah, this is Norman Greenbaum. It's from, let me give some, and I'll put a link in the description, guys. Go and show it a like at the end. It's from Craft Recordings and Norman Greenbaum Official. This is the official lyric video. So let's get into it. Some interesting stuff around this song and thoughts. Great video, look at it. That's a fuzz tone on a Strat.
When I die and the layman's to rest, gonna go to the place that's the best. When I lay me down to die, going up to the Styrian sky.
So written by Norman Greenbaum, but it had an ensemble cast. You'll hear the gospel element later on. It had the guy from Sop with Camel, a guy from Crowfoot in to do session work. It was just, but it was written by him on his album. This was huge in the States, number 3 on the Billboard 100, huge in the UK, number 1 on our charts, sold over 2 million copies then, re-released less than 20 years later by a band called Doctor and the Medics in the UK, number 1 again. So this is a song that America and the UK have shared. We bought into it, we loved it. I wonder why. Well, that's what we're going to find out.
Going up to the spirit in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the
best. Beautiful. So Norman Greenbaum was Jewish and obviously not Christian. So he'd heard a gospel song and he thought, well, I can do that. And he did this in several different formats when he tried it out. He did it sort of bluesy, folky. Then he got into this because I think a set of twins brought over some guitars. He started experimenting. And you could think it's proto-glam. It's been mainly referred to as sort of boogie rock, which I kind of line up with. But he created a sound that I think at the time was hailed as cinematic, unique. It was in that era of 69, so Genesis and that were, the whole sort of progressive sound was going to get, but this is not prog, this is rock. It's a pure rock. It's a rock gospel song, if the truth be told. Theologically informed with secular language, and that's where you're going to go when you die. It doesn't refer to it as heaven, it's using secular language that's theologically informed, Christian informed, but with a secular tone to it. In other words, he's talking about heaven, but he's saying it in normal speak. He's not using biblical references. But the music's just great. And that Strat with the fuzz tone on it, that became emblematic. That became a new way to play on there. Really picked up. And I'm sure he got it. I don't know where he got it from. I'll have to do some digging around on that. But that's what you're hearing so far. It's such a good song. And even when Doctor and the Medics did it in 86 in the UK, they didn't stray. They didn't stray from it at all. It was a straight homage cover, beautifully done, to be fair. Not as good as this, obviously, but they did it. A song I've always liked for those very reasons, and I'll come on to those in a bit.
That's where you're gonna go when you die. When you die and they lay you to rest, you're gonna go to the place that's the best.
There's your bluesy.
Never been a sinner, I never sinned. I got a friend in Jesus.
That's the secular language, because you're hoping you've never been a sinner, but we've all sinned. Whether you believe me or not, you've still committed acts that are not in line with how you should live under your moral code. You just have, all of us have, every day, all day, 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, it doesn't matter. And you can drift off into sort of the Christian ethos, but I'm not. But this song is using secular language to say you're hoping you've never sinned because you've got a friend in Jesus. That's what it's saying, that you've got a friend in Jesus, so you don't sin when you're a friend, when your friend Jesus is your friend. And you can see why this tapped in, because this song doesn't paint death as an ending. It paints death as a beginning to going up to the spirit in the sky. It's what it does. And I think it gives you that hope. That fight against your own fear of your mortality is etched into this song, and it connects with you on a deep level, as well as being a good sort of rocky boogie song with blues-infused guitars and a great sound. It still touches you deep, because you think, oh yeah, on a deep level, consciously and subconsciously, you'll be thinking, yeah, if it's not the end, I don't have to worry about it so much. And that's what the song's about. Don't worry so much, because if you've got a friend in Jesus, you're going up to the spirit in the sky. There's your secular language. So even if you had a good life here, you're transcending to a place that's even better. That's what the song's saying. And he did it because he thought he could. He's not professed to be a Christian. I don't know about his Jewish beliefs. I don't know whether he was a practicing Orthodox Jew or whatever. I don't know. I couldn't really dig into that much. I know that John Lennon said he liked it when he did an interview. And it certainly captured an American and British culture in '69, which would have been part of that cultural and sexual revolution. But even though all of that was going on, one of the massive hits of the era was a religiously infused song. Just was. Almost like it pulled you back to go, yeah, you can have all that fun, but you've got to have a friend in Jesus. Got to. And that's what the song's saying. If you have a friend in Jesus. Going out on a limb, even Bible curious people would say, you know what, I just hope, if I'm wrong, I hope they're right. There's your rock. I'll finish off with some stuff I dug up from the press, what the press said about it. And it's directly attributed to them, it's not my words. So Rolling Stone called it a psychedelic gospel anthem that fused sacred and secular worlds. Yeah. When Rolling Stone got it right, and Music Press was good to read. Billboard in 1969 called it utterly unlike anything in American radio, instantly memorable. Yeah, 2 million sales plus. The Guardian in the UK, perhaps the greatest spiritual song written by a non-Christian. I don't know. It's certainly, it has good energy. Pitchfork, it's not theology, it's cinema. What's its legacy? What's its impact? Multiple films, Apollo 11, and lots of different films, actually. I'll put it in the description, guys. Appeared in about 11 top films, different. Wayne's World 2, it appeared in there. So, yeah. So it's had a cultural legacy. Just a really good song. Just thoroughly enjoy listening to it. For all the reasons I've outlined in. You let me know what you think about it in the comments, guys. And pick some other songs that you think are aligned with this. Yeah, that offer you something to think about without forcing too much on you either way. Whatever you believe, this gives you something to at least chew over and go, yeah, it's nice, it's not painful. Till next time, guys, take care. Subscribe if that's what you want to do. I can't stop you.